Hey guys, another week, another dollar. Welcome back, y'all beautiful people, amazing entrepreneur. And in today's video, let's cut it short. I want to share with you the things that most of new entrepreneurs fail and that end up for them to be in debt, or they could like physically and mentally drain and they cut themselves out of the world because they are exhausted. And with these tips, I hope that you can find them to be really helpful along the way, especially when you go into one of the most dangerous games in the world, which is entrepreneurship. The reason why I'm saying this dangerous is because you can be drained mentally and physically. And I know a lot of people actually get themselves into a lot of debt because they are not fully prepared as well as committed into the game, no matter what up and down this may bring. So that is why it is important to prepare yourself. This is gonna be the 5 tips that will be building up the foundation for you to become an entrepreneur. And let's get started with the first tip, okay? The first tip is learn to let go of the rocks. The reason why I'm considering it to be the rocks is because one of my mentors, he taught me this lesson. When you were born, you don't have any things that you have to carry. Like your parents actually help you carry those rocks. Those rocks here are bills, responsibility, as well as food. Those are the most basic things, but there's other rocks that your parents actually help you to cover those. The older you get, the more rocks that you have to carry. I would want you to sit down, write down all the things that you are actually have to carry right now. All the rocks, such as bills that you have to carry, responsibility that you have to carry, as well as relationship that you have to carry. And I know that a lot of us could be drained because of the toxic relationship that we are in. So make sure you get all of the things that actually consuming your time every single day. Write them on a paper and weight them to see which rocks actually weigh you down the most and preventing you from moving forward in life to build up your ideal dream or life, So that's what I want you to do. Is the first thing, consider all the things in life that will weight you down from your journey. After you get all the rocks written down, we're gonna come next to the second tips that would help you build up that foundation. Every dollar you save is a dollar you earn. Saving here is not that you put it into a bank account, you're not touching it. Saving here is that you save that money to invest into other things. And when you go out there, let's say you really love that purse, you really love that shoe, but at the end, do you really need it? If you think that you would need it, you have to consider, is this inside of my budget? So let's say these 2 shoes right here, both same quality. It's just one a little more expensive because of the brand name, but you could save at least like $100 or like $50 if you're choosing the other shoe, which doesn't have like a lot of attention like brand exposure, but it's still giving you that quality, the same type of quality. So if you choose this shoe, you could save at least $50 to $100. So that means you now have $20, $50 to $100 that you can keep to invest into your business that you are actually building up. That's why you heard a lot of people saying that live below your means when you start up a business. That is the reason why, and this one is a part of it. There will be other components, but every dollar saved is a dollar earned is one of the components that could help you build up a habit long term in the future. Let's say later on in the future, you make like a ton of money, you can treat yourself really, really well. But then if you get yourself into a habit of spending like a lot, and you know that there's other option out there giving you the same quality, but you already get stuck to that habit. That is why building up a habit from now and keep it, maintain it until where you get to the point where you feel comfortable spending more. And it's totally fine, you can treat yourself well, but right now is when you start your own business. Focus on building a habit, a system that could help you reduce all of the personal expenses, as well as considering buying the thing you only need, not the thing you like. Later you can buy the thing you like too, but right now, not right now. Delayed gratification, okay? The next tip is live below your means. Consider right now all the expenses that you are actually have to spend. Like when I started my business, I actually live in a living room with my friend. So he has a small 1-bedroom apartment, and he actually helped me, let me live in his living room when I started out my business while I'm working at 2 different jobs and while going to school at the same time. I would highly suggest not to live in like a fancy apartment. So right now, I know that a lot of your friends actually living in those apartments, driving a lot of nice car, but at the end, what matters is how much money in the bank account. That is the lifestyle a lot of people that I consider to observe and see. A lot of us using the money of the future. We don't use the money that we have. On the other side, there could be people that can actually make a lot of money and afford it. But there are also people that living on credit card. So when you see your friend living in those fancy stuff, wearing fancy clothes, a self-talk to yourself. You can do that later when your business becomes successful. Give yourself 6 months to a year. That's the average that I see for a really driven and prepared entrepreneur entering the game to feel comfortable and make at least 6 figures where they can spend money. The action on this tip number 3, considering all of the budget that you currently have to pay for, the place that you live, your car, the spending that you currently have, like on clothing, food. So with the housing, consider going to Facebook, to like group of like housing group, and just post, just ask. Right now, the internet is where you can actually leveraging. You can reach out to a lot of people with just one post, and you can find a place to live for actually cheaper than going to an apartment. There's a group, it's called DFW Viet. It's a Vietnamese community where there is people that like have a room that they can share, or you can also go on like baotre.com, BAOTRE.com, where you can find a room for rent for around $300 to $500 a month with no to minimal contract and minimum deposit. And so the second thing, your car. If right now you're driving in a really fancy car, asking yourself, is the car payment every month or actually pulling you back from having more money to invest? And if you look into other people, like the most successful people, like Warren Buffett, he really drives a really normal car, but his bank account is like stacked all the way up, you know? Besides downgrading your car, you can also have the option to refinance the car at a lower rate. That monthly payment would also be lower, so it's come that you can actually get it cheaper. And you can actually go into credit unions or give them a call, and you can do a refinance on your own car online. You don't have to be present at the bank. Number 4, reduce the hours at your work. So trace back to the very first, the list of all the rocks that are actually pulling you down. From what I understand, a lot of my friends actually, their work is one of the biggest rocks because their work put a lot of like stress on them mentally. So consider at work, so find a number of hours that you can work, that you have enough money to cover all your expenses. I used to work a lot, but then I reduced it down to around just barely making like $1,500 a month. I was an LTech while I was starting my own business. If you don't know, if you trace back to my own video, I'm actually doing online entrepreneur where I sell stuff online on Amazon, Shopify, Walmart, Etsy. I was working and while I'm learning. So when I don't have a client, I go back and I open my laptop to learn about Amazon. Imagine every day you have like 24 token. If you put too much token into work, how many token left for you to learn? Where you want to grow, you would have to water it. Just like the tree. Which tree you want to grow. So focus on what would give you the highest scale in the future. Working for yourself or investing in working for somebody, and at the end, you don't get as much as you working for yourself. Tip number 5, get a mentor. The reason why I'm saying get a mentor is because they can help you to prevent all those mistakes, and you can save time and a lot of money if you find the right mentor. And with this technology world, you only one reach away from the most successful people in the planet. So go out there, just go and DM them. Don't do like a hey, just Give them a story. Give them a story about how driven you are, the thing that you have done to show that you are committed to building your life. Make it into a story and send it to people on LinkedIn or on Facebook, those successful people, and ask them if you can do something for free for them. Let's say if they need an assistant, or right now the currency that you don't have is money, but the most currency that you have is time. So trade your time and effort in exchange for knowledge from those mentors. A lot of mentors, they value their time the most. So you want to come up straightforward, be honest with them, as well as understanding what they are looking for in the people that they spend time with. A lot of people nowadays, they make a lot of like, oh, I did this so much, I did that so much, but at the end, there's no proof. Document everything and post it online so people can see who you are. Build your own profile so that people can see who you are, because I know you are really talented. That's why you are watching my video. It's not because that you pass through random stuff and then you jump on my video and you sit all the way until like 8 minutes. No, you are really driven. You have the drive inside of you. You understand what it takes, but you don't have full knowledge yet. That is why I encourage you to take notes, all the notes that's possible from the talk that I just talked to you, and be ready out there, because the only thing that separate you from your goal is just time. All the action that you take, all the hour that you study, all the people, the right people that you hang out with. If you pick the right group, if you pick the right book, if you hang out with the right people, asking the right question, 1 year from now, you will be really, really successful, or even more, you know? And knowing that I rooted in you, man, you got it, bro. Let's get that dollar. If you find these tips helpful, make sure you comment down below the 3 important things that you found to be helpful. The reason why is when you start invest some time to write down, your brain would understand that, oh, this is what I need to know, this is important that I need to know. And if when you write it down, you don't have to write in a comment, but if you do it, it would help me a lot, because it boosts the algorithm to help my video reach out to more entrepreneurs that actually need this advice. And it's also helping you, and you can take action on it, you know? And if you like this video, please give me a like and subscribe to my video for more helpful tips about entrepreneurship. If you're staying all the way to the end, I just want to say thank you so much for being with me, listen to all the things that I share. At the end, I just want to give it forward, all the information. And this is also another thing that I always been passionate about, is sharing my knowledge, sharing the things that I know, because I know a lot of you guys actually need this information to prepare yourself for the entrepreneurship journey.